All right, I'm going to share how we digitize our general incident report form and to ensure that we had the responses both live in a spreadsheet form, but also in a typical one-page document format that we could print it and file away by utilizing Google Forms and Autocrat to make all of this possible. So we have the general variation of the New York State general incident report form. You can see there's a lot of different fields and stuff in here. So this was built out by us in-house. And all of those responses are going here into a spreadsheet, which is really great for those of us who want to look at it in a spreadsheet. But for those who want it in a one-page document that sometimes needs to be printed, this was not the best way to do it. So by using Autocrat, we were able to map the data into a document template and create new versions of that document every time the form was submitted. So first thing we did was we created a form template. So this is basically just a document, and in here we have a lot of mapped sections that are pulling from the spreadsheet data. So the incident date and time, the date report was taken, the type, the location, so on and so forth. We just put these in manually with just the two carets and the name, and they just need to go ahead, ideally, and match the column names, but you can go ahead and match them manually as well. It just saves you a lot of time. So we went ahead and recreated the form into a template. And if we go into our spreadsheet in add-ons, I've installed Autocrat. If you haven't done that yet, you can hit launch and it'll bring up Autocrat, which is basically just a way for us to take this spreadsheet data and put it into a document. So we'll start from scratch. So we're going to start a new job. I will give it a name for ECAT merge. Hit next. So we have to go ahead and select our template. So I'm going to select the document template that I just showed you. Here my template is selected. I'm going to hit next. This is where some of the magic happens. So we're mapping the source data, so the columns, to the spots within the template. So we could see that there are these tags that were found within that document. And here are the columns that we want to map it to. So you could see if you make the map tags the same as the column headers, it does it automatically, which saves you a lot of time, especially when there's so many. But if you scroll down here a little bit, you see these ones that say type 1, name 1. There may be some in here where it says type 1 and name 1, but it may have a space. It may be, there might be two of them, and so on and so forth. So you have to go ahead and select which header it's supposed to, which column it should be pulling from, right? So that's actually person type 1, etc. So once you go ahead and set all of those up, you can hit next. This is when you go ahead and merge it. It's going to create a new document. So I can give it a file name. It can be a static file name, or you can use those column data to go ahead and make the file name dynamic. So for example, you could do incident report, and then it's the email address of the person that submitted it. Or let's try something different. So incident report, and then name, and I also want to bring in timestamp. So I'm going to go ahead and put. So now anytime a new submission happens, it's going to create a new file with the name incident report, the name of the person that submitted it, and the timestamp of it being submitted. I want to save it as a Google Doc instead of a PDF, but you can do that as well. This is the folder that I want to go ahead and add the new files to once they go ahead and merge. A side note, Autocrat does not see team drives or shared drives, so that makes this a little bit tricky for when you're going ahead and sharing some of this information, so just keep that in mind. If you want to go ahead and add some more options in here, you can. do we want to share this doc? Yes. So this was the other piece where every time a form was submitted, it would automatically set up not only would it do the merge, but I actually wanted to share the document with specific people. So I wanted to share it as an editable doc. I can allow the collaborators to reshare it. I don't want to send it from a generic no reply email, but I could. And then here's the email that I want to go ahead. So I could put in some stuff here. Subject, right? Incident report submitted. Check out the latest report and who you're going to send it to, who you're going to BCC, right? I'm going to CC myself and make sure everything's working and so on and so forth. Hit next, and then your triggers. When the form is submitted, you want it to automatically go ahead and merge that column into a document and share it. So it'll do it every single time a form is submitted. So that's good to have on if you want to have it all the time. And what we found is that basically worked every time, but to make sure that everything it gets covered, also adding a time trigger on here where you can go ahead and set it for every hour, every couple hours, just to make sure that everything gets done. It's not going to duplicate reports or merges, so having them both on kind of just covers your basis if you want every single column or every single row to be merged. Then you save that, and once it's finally done, you'll be able to go ahead and fill out your form, and you'll automatically get those documents sent to you. This has been super helpful for us. We've been able to replicate this process. This has been super helpful for us. We've been able to replicate this process with some other forms for our security team. It's a bit of a homebrew method, but it's been working well for us. And learning that Autocrat doesn't work well with shared drives has been something that we've definitely learned about the process. Also, it's really helpful to map tags that match your column headers. It saves you a lot of time when you're going ahead and setting it up because it automatically links them up. And to set up the merge job on the account that you want to be able to handle any changes moving forward. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you check out Autocrat, and this can work to help solve a problem that you are faced with.